Jerome JT62 back on it. Said I'd shoot a short video of my idea of a vacuum hose holder. If it's something you're interested in, it's coming right up. So I had to come up with an option for mounting my vacuum hose. I haven't seen anything available for doing that. It's kind of up to you to come up with something, I guess, for yourself. So this is a 3D printed, basically an L bracket base. This is sprung loaded, so you can get the larger section of the hose in. You see, you pull it apart and then it holds the hose in place like that. This is 1.5 inch L bracket, again, Home Depot. It's about, I believe, 1/8 inch thick. You don't want to use thin stuff. It's going to be too flexible. So you just drill those holes out, center them up. Those are held in with T-nuts or T-studs. We'll look at Fusion 360 real quick so you can see a little bit better exactly what I've done for this. For the studs, originally I tried to put bolts in here. These are threaded in here about an inch deep, deep as my tap would go. So they're drilled and tapped. So I couldn't find any bolts that long. These are 1024 threaded, all thread rod. So that's what I ended up using, and you can basically make it as long as you want. You could probably use this design for any diameter hose, whether it's a 4-inch or whatever. If it's a 4-inch, you probably just want to put some stronger springs in there for the tension to hold it. But these I got at Harbor Freight. There was a clear pack of a bunch of different assorted springs, and these longer springs, the longest ones in there, seem to work out really good. So go up real quick, look at Fusion 360, and we'll come back down and I'll install the hose in there and call it quits. Be right back. So here we are on Fusion 360 here. This is the drawing. If you want to turn this origin off real quick. If you look at this, it's in two sections. You have the top and you have the bottom. So to make things easier, I just drew this up as one body and then split it into two bodies for the top and the bottom, so that way everything stayed in alignment. You look at the top, there's a little countersink in here. Keep the springs centered from locking off. The holes in the top of the top bracket are drilled large enough, obviously, so that the all thread rod can slide through. Then if you look at the bottom section, these holes do go all the way through. It's really not necessary, but I made them go all the way through. I didn't know how deep I was gonna be able to get my tap in there, so they just go all the way through. And then these holes here are tapped for 1024 all thread or whatever you're gonna use. If it's metric, then you go that route. And these are I had some 4mm socket cap for these, so these are drilled through. They're not tapped into the aluminum plate. There's nuts on the back side. It's just easier to do that. There's no need to go through a bunch of drilling and tapping for that. So that's how that looks as an assembly and what you saw downstairs. Go back down, we'll look at the hose installed. I'm not going to be able to one-hand it, so I'm going to have to go ahead and put that in there and install it and let you take a look at it. Then we'll call this one done. So here's the assembly with the hose installed. It's a no-brainer. There's not a reason for me to one-hand that. This is close in here to get that hose in, but you do have a little bit of adjustability, or actually quite a bit. So you can make sure, if you look at this, you can see how this is larger. Originally I thought this wasn't going to work out. I was going to have to redesign it, and then I thought about what I could use. Just get some all thread. Make bolts as long as you want them. So always keep that in mind. If there's not a bolt long enough, then all thread will be. So that's how that looks as an assembly here. We can get that zoomed out, and then this just comes around and heads on over to the dust collection. I haven't found a way to hold this up here. I'm not going to worry about that right now. We'll see how this runs. I think it's going to be high enough to where there's not going to be any interference with any rails, or I'm not going to have any issues. So I'm going to be watching this thing anyway when it's running. So I'll just keep an eye on that hose. So that about wraps it up for this video. Nice and simple, nice and quick, unlike most of my stuff. So I actually have a project that I need to cut out, and I'm gonna actually make I believe a disc for the top of the dust collection there. Give it a little bit more stability. I think it might be a good idea. I'm gonna cut it out of MDF. And that's going to put this whole assembly to the test. So we'll call this one. Once again, please like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions about how I put this all together, let me know and I'll answer them for you. Once again, thanks for watching.